Hello everyone. Today we're going to continue with the content of HCIA-Storage. In the last class we talked about read. What we mainly ensure is the security of our mathematics, right? However, there is a small issue with this read. No matter how secure you say it is. You always have just one server. In the last class, we talked about the process from the initial large hard disk to the smaller hard disk and then the more hard disks. Finally, we put the hard disks into a disk array. It can ensure the basic security and integrity of our data. However, one small issue is that we always have just one server. Your slots, your interfaces, and the external expansion interfaces are always limited, meaning the space you can expand is actually finite. So, what do you do when this space runs out? When you have just one server, you can't continue to expand anymore. Limited. What do you do when your space runs out? You can't continue to expand with just one server. So at this time, as we gradually developed, network storage appeared later. What is network storage? In fact, we used to be a standalone version. That is, one server only used one server's storage. Well, it's as big as it can be. If it's not enough, you can add a disk. If an external device is full, there is no other way. Now that we have a network, we can connect through the network. Of course, we only need an internet network, so we can connect through the network. Then we can transfer our data over the network. Originally, we had just one server, right? It only had a few disks. Now, I want to expand, because the disks are full. I can connect external disks through a network in a certain way. Here we have two types, SAN and NAS. One is storage area network, and the other is network attached storage. On the side of network attached storage, mainly involves directly sharing what? Sharing our file system, which is the directory. So here we have a NAS storage server. After creating a new shared directory, we authorize other servers and clients through the network, allowing them to share this directory or file system. This is what we call network attached storage. And when it comes to our storage networks, you can see that they seem quite similar, right? They look almost the same, but there is actually a fundamental difference. What you need to pay attention to is, where is the file system located? On the side of our network attached storage, the file system is created by the server, which is the storage server. And once it's set up, it's shared with our clients. That's one of its characteristics. Here, you can see that the file system is on the top, and the bottom is directly connected. What does it mean? What it means here is that we directly connect. A disk from the storage server. Sharing in the past was just about directly sharing the disk here, or you could say sharing a partition as well. It's not just about sharing a directory. After sharing a disk, subsequent operations like partitioning and formatting are all done on top. Hey, this is our second type, the storage area network. Both of these types actually share content through the network, right? They share our data. On the right side, it's like our client. It connects to our storage server through our network. It can pass. This form, that is through network attached storage, we can share directories or anything else, even a disk. And this is a process from separation to integration of the two. What do we add in the first step? We join the networks. Previously, the separation meant that each server was an independent entity, but now we connect servers to each other through the network, allowing us to share storage. The first benefit of this is data sharing. Data sharing means that here we can do what? We can have multiple servers sharing the same directory. The benefit of this is that we can share the data inside, and we only need to occupy one copy of the space, which greatly improves disk utilization. If originally each server had to store its own data, right? For example, if each server stored 1 terabyte of data, then each one would consume 1 terabyte of space. But now, after sharing this content, in total we only need to use 1 terabyte, which saves us a lot of space. The space we save can be used to store other things, other content. This is one of the benefits of our network storage. It saves space and allows for data sharing, and it can also achieve one of the activities outside of our single server is to enhance the storage capacity of our server itself. If network storage is here, in fact, it is theoretically infinite in size. Why? just the interface or port number of your server. If it is enough, you can connect to many different things. Network storage servers connect to multiple devices. Expansion is possible as needed, and future disk size won't restrict us. In the actual HCIE environment, it is definitely limited, because after all, your physical equipment, your server, and disk are definitely limited. But what can we do when expanding capacity? We can expand capacity as much as we want, which means that we will not be affected by anything in the future. The limitation of disk size is one of the benefits of network storage. This is our first step in integration, and it's not over yet. This integration, in fact. So, what's the second step of integration? What we added is distributed storage. So what is distributed storage? Distributed storage is actually... Previously, what about sharing? In fact, it is based on a server, right? A storage server shares some content with other servers. Whether it is a shared directory or a shared disk, it is actually a one-to-one relationship. The one-to-one has an upper limit, right? The storage server also has an upper limit. So how can we make our storage server have no upper limit, right? Our client also has no upper limit. In fact, our previous network storage mainly achieved this. The client has freed up the disk capacity, but your storage server is still the same as your storage server, right? So in order to solve this problem, we added distributed storage, which has been used more frequently in recent years. Basically, it's been used quite a lot in the last decade. So, distributed storage is achieved through what? Through software. Here, we need to use software methods to integrate the physical resources from our multiple servers and together. For example, take a look at these few servers below. Here we have an ellipsis. What does it mean? It actually means there is no upper limit for storage servers. Because once you join this cluster, you become part of our storage. What do we do if the storage is not enough? For expansion, there are two aspects. First, add disks. But what if the disks are full? The second option is to add servers. Just directly add a server to our entire cluster. Once you join, you become part of it. We can indeed achieve virtually limitless expansion. And as for the clients, well, if our storage servers are virtually limitless, then naturally the clients won't have any restrictions either. This is the role of our distributed storage. Now, management actually has two parts. On this side, we have distributed management, which means we need to connect to at least one server to manage our entire cluster. With distributed storage, we don't need to connect to all the servers. That's unnecessary. We only need to configure all the servers when we create the cluster. Then, when adding new nodes later, we can make simple modifications. Apart from that, at other times, we only need to connect to one server. By connecting to just one server, we can manage the entire cluster, manage the whole storage cluster. Then here, our internal management is actually to allocate some space. Allocate space to divide some content. Here is a specific form of storage. What is it actually? In fact, it is what we have talked about before. It can still be used. Network file storage is directly sharing shared folders. The second type is shared disks, and the third type is also possible. The object storage that we haven't talked about yet is also okay. These are basically some of the better distributed storages that support these three types. It is a shared file directory and shared disk. Well, shared file storage, shared object storage are all possible. This is the addition of our distributed storage, which is the development process of our storage. It actually starts from 1 to 2 to 3 and then to 100. And then put it together. Then we added 1 to 2 to 3 to form a network. And then to infinity to form a distributed storage. This is actually the basic development process of our storage. Development process. Alright, that's it for this lesson. If anyone wants to learn about Huawei certification technology or wants to get the Huawei certification question bank, please send me a private message. I can also leave more information in the comments below the video. Or let's have a technical exchange. Alright, that's it for today, everyone.